The recording is in
The,
progress.
the journey of my ancestors, it was one of the most difficult journeys of my life, which I didn't supposed to be on the journey. It seems that sometime the ancestors, with the permission of the God force within them, carry me on journeys. The journey to the slave house in Ghana in 1994, in the Cape Coast castles, but I say the Cape Coast dungeons, which I was snatched and remain in Ghana and in the Cape Coast in particular, thanks to Nana Rollins, Mrs. Rollins, the president's wife, Jerry Rollins. Nana Rollins listened to me when I went to her in tears. Why was I snatched and I could not travel on to South Africa to have witnessed Nelson Mandela inauguration? I had met Nelson Mandela and Winnie Mandela in a place called Namibia, Southern Africa, from one of my babas. Now he is an ancestor, Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia. And on his aircraft with Queen Mother Audley Moore, we traveled to Namibia for their first independence, where Nelson Mandela and the other leaders of South Africa had gathered for the independence with Sam Nujoma, the first president of Namibia. Being on the aircraft as my second Baba, Kenneth Kaunda, we called him KK. Now he's an ancestor. Mzee Julius Nyerere, the first president of Tanzania, my Baba, my first Baba that I studied as a Fulbright scholar, ethnographic research at Columbia University, and the journey started at Harvard University as a Fulbright scholar to study African traditional socialism. And in the spirit and in the work of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, my first African Baba, who mentored me on the ways of Mother Africa. And with Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, as he stepped down from power, I spent a year, 84 to 85, in East Africa studying his ways through the spirit of Julius Nyerere as a philosopher, as a head of state, a policy maker, and with a land-based implementation of his aspiration, self-reliance, do for ourselves, was his philosophy to a nation. Pull as one, Swahili, one language, Kiswahili. One aim, build a nation. Bond as one. Julius Nyerere, consciousness, African traditional socialism, which I was taught and mentored by him, which I spent 1 year with him. To make a long story short, work had been done with me in Southern Africa and East Africa. As a Fulbrighter, also to West Africa, Nigeria, which I was born October 1 on the independence of Nigeria. Names given to me: Ife, the goddess of love, named by the two nations. Nai Wang Molel in East Africa, Tanzania in particular, Nigeria. Ife, the goddess of love, named. At the United Nations, West and East embrace me as a daughter of Mother Africa. And going deeper into a place, Ghana, and being snatched in Ghana, in the Cape Coast Castle, which is the dungeons. And from there, the Spirit guided me into the deep sea in the international waters to lay a monument in honor of my ancestors. It was not destined by man to include me or to engage me in Harlem. Of this boat left from the East River, where I am and where I live, and been familiar with this place for 60 years. Going on now, 62 years. 10 years as a Roman Catholic nun in Walimu Julius Nyerere. We must beatify him in the Roman Catholic Church. He was a staunch and devoted Catholic. For me to have been his daughter, and for him to have adored a woman by the name of Mother Teresa of Calcutta, and the same reverence and love and respect as my Baba, as my African father. Yes, he gave me the whisper jet too, and allowed me to complete my doctorate on his work, on his legacy, and presented the body of my work to him. Self-reliance education, self-sufficient, self-help. How would we, African descendants, keep our claim to Mother Africa without a land base? How would we do that? Through Kwanzaa, a celebration that a brother used his middle name, as I studied Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. Karenga was his middle name. Dr. Karenga took up Kwanzaa, the principles of Tanzania, Kiswahili, or Swahili, coming from Zanzibar. the language of a people now called Tanzania, two countries as one. What a rich history. And in the 90s, how Queen Mother was engaged and involved in a very, very special way. And in the 90s, being a part of the slave replica in the deep sea, being a part of a journey where the slave master gave me permission to join the boat. And on the boat, I spoke little to anyone because my role was to fast and pray at the bottom of the boat of the slave master who welcomed me on the boat. When the slave children said no to me, the slave master said yes to me, the replica that went out into the deep sea. I can only reflect, and I'm still writing about that journey of laying a monument to our ancestors in the deep waters, in the international waters, and in the deep waters to our ancestors, laid this monument to our ancestors, which I believe that they are pleased with our journey today of the Ark of Return at the United Nations to begin that journey of healing, transformation, tradition, the DNA, the culture, the education, the business of relocating on the continent of Mother Africa, finding where we belongs or want to be, of the ark of returning to the soil of Mother Africa through the gateway of Goree Island. Queen Mother was a part of a journey unknown to myself, but a journey is a mystery to me to this day. The mystery lives on in the international waters, and laying a monument to our ancestors in 1999, unknown to me to be in the slave house and snatched in Ghana, unknown to me to be at the shores with Mama Kente, naming me Fatimatu Kente in Jufri in a place called the Gambia, unknown to me to end up on the shores of Goree, Mama Africa to Tuba, Mama Africa, up on the mountain, looking at the sea, looking at the ships. And as Amadou Bamba, my grandfather, his son, laid eyes on me in a holy place, a Black holy place called Tuba. You are my daughter. The seed of a father brought tears to my eyes. Sheikh Salu Mbake, the spiritual one, the holy one, the great one, the Black soul spiritual energy of a people, Tuba. Amadou Bamba, who stated and who said in the wilderness, thrown in by the French, colonizing, and could never colonize him. And in the sea, when they captured him, he said one day in his writing, we will return. The children will return to the shores of Africa. We will return, and we are turning. And when he asked the French, could he pray as a Muslim? And they told Amadou Bamba, you cannot pray, no. And when they all looked into the sea, on his rug, he said, Allah Akbar, God is the greatest. And he kept praying on his rug. The spirit energy, the spiritual one that God placed before us in blackness, dark skin, blackness of Mother Africa, Amadou Bamba. There was a preparation for the journey of laying the monument to our ancestors in the spirit of millions of our ancestors. In 1999, what a journey, what a preparation, what a readiness for Barack Obama to end up in a place. A Woman with a Cause, written by Black Enterprise in Washington, D.C. on the day of his inauguration. A Woman with a Cause talk about the experiences and Black Enterprise of him going to Ghana at the slave house, which I was in the royal court on his arrival, unknown to me that I would have been there. And to be in the energy of him going to a place called Goree Island, which I'm just returning from, 2021, that Barack Obama, the former president, and his family, his wife, went to Goree Island as well, to slave house, invoked to him and documented by Black Enterprise, A Woman with a Cause, a story that has been told and shared with the world as we look at the story must be told of the survivors over 100 years. 3 survivors that the spirit energy from my royal court of Harlem gave them the gift of the shanty scarf in Tulsa on a wagon in Greenwood. And as the royal group who prepared the procession for the 100 massacre of our ancestors and the survival of the 3 on a horse and buggy in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the spirit energy had me to deliver a gift for the 55 million African descendants of the transatlantic ocean of the slave trade from the Ark of Return of the United Nations dedicated in 2015, where I did my DNA on Juneteenth. Nothing is by chance. As I stood at the shores of Goree, on Juneteenth, when President Joe Biden proclaimed Juneteenth as a holiday, but also a holy day. From the shores with Sister Zakia born on Juneteenth. First trip to Mother Africa on Juneteenth, 2021. What a marvelous day and what a profound day it was to stand before the world symbolically and watch the miracles of the Great One, the Holy One, the Divine One in my life as we prepare, because the royal court asked me, do not spook the horses in Tulsa when they allowed me to give them the gift of the 6 eyes staring at me when I gave them the scarf from my royal court of Harlem, from the Aponde people from Apondo, from the Regent, where I was installed, and the oldest queen mother of the Shanti Kingdom, now an ancestor. The king sent me to his mother, and she blessed me in her palace as the queen mother of North America, and particular Harlem, to bring the family home, to bring the children home, to bring the youth home. 2010, the journey began in a place called Goree with the hip hop generation. This journey is unknown to me, as this journey is incomplete, as I laid my eyes on 300 years of 3 elders who live to be over 100 years old. And hearing the oldest elder, Mama Fletcher, say, I want to go to Africa. It was on no one's radar screen of the gift that I brought to them for the 55 million displaced Africans of the transatlantic ocean of the slave trade, and to give them this gift from my court in Harlem, arriving in a storm to Tulsa, 2021. What mystery holds for me in the wind of a people as they glanced and looked at me and stared at me and talked to me. 100, 100, 100, all of them over 100 years old. So that's over 300 eyes glazed and glanced at me and winked at me and said, I want to go to Africa. What a day that have been to me, now becoming a reality as preparation is taking forth. But this history has been recorded from around the world. The ancestors are speaking to me as we continue unfold the oneness of a people.
Thank you so very much, Queen Mother. And with that, I'm going to end this shot with a reference to the place in St. Croix, Virgin Island, where there is a symbol of remembrance and hope for all those who are innocent, for all those who are lost, for all those who are hurt, for all those who are left behind, for all those who are not forgotten. Thank you so very much, Queen Mother. Ashe.
Ashe, ashe, ashe.